In this video, we will be looking at electricity or water tariffs. Now, in this example, you'll see that we're measuring kiloliters, which tells you it's a water tariff. And then if it was electricity, it would be kilowatts per hour. So the only difference that you'll actually see in the table is just here by the heading. And then other than that, you will follow the same steps for either electricity or water. Note that in some questions in your test or exam, the intervals and the prices could also differ. But like I say, the steps will be the same. So you have to note one thing in this table, and that is that the amounts of kiloliters here are given in an interval. In this interval, you see that we do not start at 0. 0 is not included. There is no line there. So we start at 1 and we count from 1 to 9. How many numbers are in that interval? There are 9 numbers in that first interval. Once you then go over 9 kiloliters, you go into the next category or stage. And in this category or stage, you use more. So let's say we start from 10 then, because 9 is not included, up to 20. And then there's 11 kiloliters in this stage. So in the first 0 to 9 interval, you don't pay anything. Why is that true? Because you've used 9 kiloliters of water, and that's good. The government kind of substitutes that. And now when you go over from 10 to 20 kiloliters, now you've used more water. Now you'll pay 5.60 per kiloliter. So for every kiloliter you use, you're going to pay 5.60. And so forth. So if I say, okay, I've used 36 kiloliters this month, I do not go and look for my answer here and say, okay, it's 14.10 times 36. That's very, very wrong. Why? Because you have to start at 0. You have to start with the lowest amount, and then you go over to the next category, until you reach 36 kiloliters. Okay, that's just an introduction. Let's get to the steps. The first thing you're going to do is what I started doing here on the side. In this interval, let's say in the first interval, the kiloliters that I have here available is 9. Okay, and I'm going to say, in our example, let's say we have Joe, and Joe uses 37 kiloliters. Or let's say he used 37 kiloliters this month. And now we need to work out how much did Joe then pay for what he used. So the price, the total price. Right. So we divide that 37 kiloliters. We say we're going to use 9. Then in the first interval, we're going to use that next 11. In the next interval, we're going to use 15. Now, if you add this up, you're already at 35. If you add the 9, 11, and 15. So you need 2 more kiloliters. And that will be in the next category. Once I've used up all the kiloliters here, I'll go to the next, and so forth. And now I'm at a point where I have used 37 kiloliters in total. That's your first step. Now your second step is going to be to multiply this, the blue number and the price. So I'm going to say 9 times 0 and get my answer. That's 0 rand. Then I'm going to say the next one is 11 times 5.60. It gives you 61.60 rand. Let me just write the full thing out. It's going to be 11 times 5.60. 61.60. And then in the next exam, the next category, it's going to be 15 times 9 rand 20 cents. It's 138 rand. And finally, there's only 2 kiloliters that I used in that category, and it's 14 rand 10 cent each, to give you 28 rand 20 cents. Alright, so this is your second step then. Let's go and write down the price then in each category. Finally, what you're going to do is you are going to add all of these prices for each category that you've used, because you want the total amount that you spent. We see that's 227 rand 80 cents. Now the question could be why? Why can't you just go and find 37 in this table and then multiply there? Because remember, you have to start at the first amount of kiloliters, the first interval, and then when you've used up all of those kiloliters that you got for free, you now start paying, and if you use more and more and more water, you need to start paying more per kiloliter. Why is that the case? Because obviously we need to be responsible citizens and we need to limit the amount of water we use so that the earth can always have enough water. Alright, so remember your first step. Write out the available interval here and how much you're going to use in each interval. Multiply the amount of kiloliters and the price. And then third step, add all of those to get your total price. Please remember to share, like, subscribe, and become part of the Whiteboard SA team.